Hey guys, it's Megan with Nerd Initiative, and we all know that Daredevil Born Again episodes 1 and 2 did drop last night, and if you've watched it like I did, then you are also somewhat traumatized, but also super, super excited. So I watched it, and I went through and found all the Easter eggs I could find, but I want to hear what you guys found too when I'm done, so let me know in the comments what you found, because I'm not that good at this. I'm not good at finding these Easter eggs, but there are people who are better than me. So I will give you what I found, and let us start from the beginning. Kingpin. This is a man of routine. And what do we see him eating? An omelet. In the Netflix show, he is shown making an omelet, which he eats again here in the first episode, but this time with a single stick of asparagus, which is, it's a choice. He's getting his vegetables. Moving on, the TV show that we see intermittently pop up in the show is hosted by B.B. Urich, a new character played by Jania Walton. We learned in episode 2 that she is the niece of Ben Urich, the very loved journalist from the Netflix Daredevil show, where he was played by Vondi Curtis Hall. The character was unalived by Wilson Fisk, which adds an extra resonance to his meeting with BB in episode 2, where Kingpin admits he knew Ben. I think he knew him a little bit more than he was a good journalist. But whatever. Moving on, Matt and Fisk sit down for a catch-up. While talking about family, Fisk notes, "I tried to mentor someone. Well, that's the closest I've come." He is, of course, talking about Echo in a reference to her Disney Plus show where, she shot him in the face. Matt can't help but get a little sassy and snipe back, "Didn't she try to shoot you in the face?" Which I thought was funny. Moving on, in the meeting, Fisk also says, "About your friend, I had nothing to do with his death. I kept that promise," referring to a pact that Daredevil and Kingpin made in the Netflix show to not target each other's loved ones. He is, of course, talking about the source of my trauma, Franklin Foggy Nelson, R.I.P. In the next one I found, the real-life news station, also sometimes called NY1 and Spectrum NY, that reports on Fisk's election, is a regular fixture in the MCU, having featured in The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, No Way Home, the Netflix seasons of Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, WandaVision, and Hawkeye. Anchor Pat Kiernan, who has also appeared in various MCU projects, also shows up too. So I like that big old consistency they have going there. The next one, episode 2, begins at a New Year's celebration in Times Square with the Kingpin addressing the citizens of New York. While the previous use of the Times Square in Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain America, the First Avenger, was used to get much of the movie's product placement front and center for mostly a period piece sub-film, Times Square is filled with quite a few references to the wider MCU. Like, there is a billboard for Rogers the Musical, which is an ongoing one, and I really want to see it. It's a Hamilton-inspired Broadway musical that tells the story of Steve Rogers / Captain America, who previously appeared in Hawkeye and had a small background reference in Spider-Man No Way Home. The other references we saw were Harlem's Paradise, which is a nightclub featured in Luke Cage, initially owned by criminal Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes, and later his cousin Maria Dillard, after she unalived him. Following her death, she left it to Luke Cage, who decided to run the business as a way to monitor and control the crime in Harlem. The last time audiences saw Luke Cage in Jessica Jones Season 3, he was still running Harlem's Paradise, and this ad possibly sets up the return of Luke Cage and hopefully the other defenders of the MCU. The next one, the Pim Van Dyne Foundation, was introduced in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. After the events of Avengers Endgame, Hope Van Dyne retook control of Pym Technologies and renamed the company using Pym particles to help reshape the world. Another ad, this was like the last one I found, an ad for the soft drink Pingo Doce, which is seen in The Incredible Hulk, can be seen. An advertisement for Pingo Doce could also be seen in Ant-Man, with a diet version glimpsed in X-Men 97. This soft drink is also available for purchase on Avengers Campus in Disneyland. I have not had the pleasure, but I really want the pleasure to try it. Moving on, Heather Glenn has published a book titled Life Without Fear, A Guide to Confronting Trauma by Heather Glenn, MD. The first part of that title is a clear nod to Daredevil's long-standing nickname, the Man Without Fear. Of course. Next one, Matt makes a passing reference to White Tiger having mythical amulets. These are the Jade Tiger amulets, which originated in Iron Fist's heavenly city of Kunlun, and which grant Hector superhuman ability and strength. An obvious one to finish the episode, but one that of the cops that tries to unalive Nikki Torres, key witness in Hector's trial, is sporting an adapted Punisher tattoo. It's not like Frank Castle to work with the police. Clearly, we all know who Frank Castle is, and most of us have seen the series. We have seen Daredevil. We've seen the comics. We get that. So are these cops who have taken some of Punisher's lethal methods? Maybe. So a few others that I picked up on my second watch. I have spent like 4 hours of the last 14 hours maybe watching this show to find these. The next one, the Tracksuit Mafia, who the last time we saw them were in She-Hulk. They were first introduced in Hawkeye, returns in Daredevil Born Again as one of the many criminal organizations Vanessa Fisk has been running in her husband's absence. The Tracksuit Mafia made their comic debut in Hawkeye Volume 4, Number 1 in August 2012 and were created by Matt Fraction and David Aya. Another one, since Foggy's death, Matt, has started a new law firm titled Murdoch and McDuffie, alongside his new business partner, Kirsten McDuffie, played by Severance's Nikki M. James. McDuffie was created by writer Mark Waid and artist Paulo Rivera and introduced in Daredevil, Volume 3, Number 1 in July 2011. McDuffie herself is named after the later great comic book writer Dwayne McDuffie, who passed away, R.I.P., in February 2011, 5 months before Kirsten McDuffie's character made a comic debut. The next one, Daredevil Born Again, also introduced a new love interest for Matt Murdock, Heather Glenn. Glenn is played by Margarita LaViva, who is in one of my favorite shows of all time called Revenge. It's very good. It's on Hulu. If you think she looks kind of familiar, that's because she is also from Disney Plus's The Acolyte. Created by Marv Wolfman and artist William Robert Brown, and the first appearing in Daredevil number 126 in July 1975, Glenn has another love interest for Daredevil, but she does have a pretty rich story in the comics. So, I mean, I like that they included her. I like the actress, and I like that Daredevil did not start the show off with so many feelings for Karen. I like that they brought someone else in. It's a good look, I think. So a new character that hasn't been in the MCU is White Tiger. There have been many White Tigers in Marvel Comics over the years, but the one seen in Daredevil Born Again is Hector Ayala, the first White Tiger introduced in Marvel Comics back in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 19 from December 1975 and was created by writer Bill Mantlo and the legendary artist George Perez. The White Tiger gets his powers from a batch of mythical amulets that enhances strength, speed, agility, reflexes, and balance, and has a connection to Daredevil's former defender, Iron Fist, as the amulets draw their power from Kunlun. However, none of that is mentioned in Daredevil Born Again, but it very well could be. We didn't get too much, so it could happen. So those are all the ones I found. I'm sure everyone else has found all these other huge ones. It happens. I love Easter eggs. I live for Easter eggs, but I'm so bad at finding them. So it took me a few tries, but I loved this show. I loved it so much. I'm so excited for how hard Disney went with the show. I'm so glad to the fan base that fought for the show. I'm so glad for Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox for wanting this so bad. And it shows in their acting how badly they wanted it, how hard they were willing to work for it. So you guys let me know in the comments what Easter eggs you found. And you also let me know in the comments what you thought about the show, because I gotta know. Also, wherever you're watching this video, please make sure to subscribe. Also share so more people can subscribe and we can all join in the fun. And don't miss anything else coming from Nerd Initiative, because there's so many things like wrestling. We have live discussions. We talk to comic creators. We talk movies, TV. We have so much going on. So subscribe, share, and then let me know in the comments. You have a great day.